A senior surgeon once told a resident, "That tissue doesn't feel right." That insight wasn't because of a textbook, but from 1,000 procedures her hands had done. That knowledge, the kind you cannot download, only exists because someone once let that surgeon be terrible at surgery. And right now, we're eliminating the mechanism that produces those terrible beginners who go on to become incredible experts. Here's what I mean. In April 2026, Bloomberg reported that 43% of American college graduates between 22 and 27 are underemployed, working jobs that don't require the degree they just spent 4 years earning. The share of unemployed Americans who are new workforce entrants hit a 37-year high in 2025. 13.3% in July, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, higher than any point during the Great Recession. Now, I know that you've been on YouTube, you've seen the entry-level job videos, probably several of them. Nobody's hiring juniors anymore. Gen Z cannot get a foot in the door. AI is killing entry-level jobs. I'm not here to make that video again. But many are stopping short of the actual problem. Entry-level jobs dropped 60% between 2022 and 2024. LinkedIn found that 38% of positions labeled entry-level now require 3 to 5 years of experience, which in software and manufacturing is over 50% of the cases. At the top 15 tech companies, new graduates went from a third of all hires in 2019 to about 7% today. Those numbers are real and they're bad, but they describe a symptom. They don't name the disease. The disease is this. The entry-level job was never a job. It was a factory. The raw material was a novice, someone who didn't know what they were doing. The manufacturing process was supervised practice. Years of doing real work, making real mistakes under someone who'd made those mistakes before. And the finished product was an expert with judgment. We just shut down the factory and somehow expect the product to keep showing up. In 1966, a philosopher named Michael Polanyi put his finger on why this matters. He argued that the most important knowledge in any profession, the kind that lets a surgeon feel when tissue is wrong, or lets an engineer sense when the numbers look off before checking the math, cannot be written down. It cannot be taught in a lecture alone. It transfers in one way and in one direction by doing the work repeatedly under someone who has already done it. He called that tacit knowledge. Economist David Autor later called the automation problem it creates Polanyi's paradox. AI can replicate explicit knowledge, the procedures, the checklists, the formulae, but tacit knowledge, which is judgment, intuition, pattern recognition born from experience, that requires a human body doing human work over human time. Researchers in knowledge management, this is actually a real field I checked, estimate that 70 to 80% of the knowledge inside any organization is tacit, unwritten, carried into the heads and hands of people who built it by doing the job badly, then less badly, then well. The searchable, teachable, AI-friendly part, that's the other 20 to 30%, the tip of the iceberg. Which actually brings us to the real problem. McKinsey estimates that generative AI can automate 60 to 70% of the tasks in administrative support, junior analyst work, customer service, and operations. Those aren't just tasks. Those are the manufacturing floor. That's where tacit knowledge was built. When I, as a first-year analyst, ran quarterly reports by hand, I wasn't just producing a spreadsheet. I was learning what clean data looks like and what dirty data feels like. When a junior lawyer reviewed contracts clause by clause, they weren't just billing hours, they were building the instinct that would one day let them read a deal and feel that something was missing before they could name what it was. Okay, AI does all of those tasks faster and it does them cheaper. And this is the part companies haven't reckoned with. It does them without producing a single person who learned anything in the process. Salesforce announced in 2025 that it would stop hiring new software engineers completely, citing AI productivity gains. Entry-level developer postings have plummeted 67% since 2022. The Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development surveyed over 2,000 senior HR professionals in the UK and found that 62% expect junior roles to be the first lost to AI. The raw material isn't entering the factory. The factory itself is being converted into a server rack. I want to name this problem and I want to call it the judgment gap. That's the growing distance between what AI can perform and what only experience can teach. AI handles the explicit layer, the tasks, the procedures, the outputs, but the tacit layer, the judgment you develop from years of supervised practice, has no alternative delivery mechanism, and the jobs that were that delivery mechanism are disappearing. This isn't new, by the way. The problem of how do you stop expertise from dying with the expert is one of the oldest problems humans have. And for most of human history, the answer was the same everywhere. In 1563, England passed the Statute of Artificers under Elizabeth I. 7 years of internship minimum before you could practice a trade. Not because Elizabethans were old-fashioned, but because they'd figured out that expertise doesn't survive on paper, it survives by moving through people. Even medieval guilds knew this. Medical residencies know this. Surgical training is a minimum of X number of years, and researchers describe the tacit knowledge a surgeon acquires as something that can only be tested in action. Law firms know this. The articling year exists because no amount of law school replicates what you learn sitting beside a partner who's been wrong before and knows what wrong looks like. Every knowledge profession independently built its own factory. The same factory put the novice next to the expert. Let time do the work. And right now, across every one of those professions, we are automating away the novice's workload, which sounds like efficiency, and it is, but it is also simultaneously dismantling the only manufacturing process that has ever reliably turned a novice into an expert. AWS CEO Matt Garman called it what it is. In late 2025, he said that replacing junior employees with AI is, and I'm quoting, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. His reasoning was blunt. How's that going to work when 10 years into the future, you have no one who has learned anything? If the industry continues suppressing junior hiring through 2024, 2025, and 2026, which it is, the effects don't arrive immediately. They arrive in 2029 to 2033. When the pipeline of mid-level professionals thins out, and again in 2032 to 2036 when the senior pipeline follows. The people who should be leading teams, diagnosing edge cases, making the calls that only judgment can make, they won't be there. Not because they left, because they were never trained. Forrester's 2026 workforce predictions found that 55% of employers already regret AI-driven layoffs. About half of AI-attributed job cuts are being quietly reversed within 12 months, often at lower salaries, often offshore, almost always under a different job title. Klarna replaced 700 customer service employees with AI. Quality declined. Customers revolted, the company hired humans back to a certain extent. The market is learning, but it's learning slowly, and every year the junior pipeline stays suppressed is a year of tacit knowledge that does not transfer, a year of judgment that never gets built. You cannot backfill judgment that was not created. We are running an experiment that nobody in our civilization has ever seen. We are eliminating the path to expertise across medicine, engineering, law, finance, software, you name it, while simultaneously increasing our dependence on the experts those paths were supposed to produce. We shut down the factory and put in a rush order for the product. How does this make sense? By 2035, we will have more information available than any generation in human history. Every procedure documented, every case law searchable, every diagnostic protocol accessible in seconds, milliseconds, microseconds, and we may have less professional judgment than any generation in a century. Because judgment was never in a database. It was not intended to be. It was in the person, and the person only got it by being allowed to be bad at a job first. In 2025, for 6 months straight, workers with occupational associate degrees in skilled trades posted better employment outcomes than 4-year college graduates. First time in the last 50 years, the trades, the one sector that still runs on an honest-to-God apprenticeship model, the one sector that never shut down the factory, are outperforming the knowledge economy on the knowledge economy's own metric. Maybe that's a coincidence, or maybe it's the earliest signal that a system built on transferring knowledge through practice still works, and a system that replaced practice with software is starting to notice what's missing from that shelf. If the entry level job was a factory that turned beginners into people with judgment and we've shut that factory down, where does judgment come from now? I'd like to know what you think, especially if you're early in your career.